So take us to 2013, and you have Zachary Drucker, young man, playing Irma Vep. Now, this character, as I see it, is not so much of the strong, let's get what they need and lead this group of robbers. She is much more of a vulnerable, searching for relationships and identity kind of person who ends up, and we see him frequently speaking to a psychiatrist, who's played by you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. That's okay to be done.
Yes.
So tell us about that transition for you with Irma Vep.
Well, so Zachary is a transgender woman and lives as a transgender woman. So she is she.
But keep Zachary.
But keep Zachary as her name.
So he wants to be known as
she.
I'm sorry. She wants to be known as.
She is a woman
with a male name.
With a male name, yeah.
So that suggests that there's a story there. To me, it does.
Yeah. I can't speak for Zachary.
Right.
And Zachary is really great to speak to because she's very articulate about her life and her political position in the world. She is a transgender woman. It's not like she's a woman. She all of her life and her art is centered around that. So, as I was thinking about the character of Irma Vep and why I was so attracted to this character, and and then I started to put together how it connected to my own life of having to transgress boundaries and live this life undercover and keep secrets. I realized then, and then as I brought on Zachary and wanted to make some connections to Zachary's life and how she lives undercover, I realized that what was a recurring interest for me, and actually what I never said was the third part of my trilogy, which went from Charles Baudelaire's Les Fleurs du Mal, and then the next project was an adaptation of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And now here we are in Irma Vep, at Les Vampires. And they're all made, within a few decades of one another. And in The Picture of Dorian Gray, what really interested me was how a work of life becomes alive, right? The Portrait of Dorian Gray has this supernatural quality to it where it shifts and it changes. It has its own agency. It has its own life. And so in thinking about the character of Irma Vep, I started to think about, well, what if she's, so what goes on inside Irma Vep's mind? What does she do in her downtime? What is she really thinking? I mean, she's got quite a life going on here. What would she say? What would she talk to her therapist about? And then I realized that this positioning of having her talk to her therapist would be a perfect way to get inside and get to the subtext and really get to, who was Irma Vep. And so the therapist monologues or dialogues are really a combination of my own issues, Zachary's issues, and then what I imagine Irma Vep's issues to be.
This movie character. Did you script this?
It was scripted and improvised, both. I had scripted out in advance. I had scripted out, full sentences, what I wanted Zachary to say, questions, answers. I would also script out just topics. We want to talk about this, this, and this. And then Zachary and I would do some rehearsals via Skype, because Zachary lives in LA. And then when we were on set, we would also improvise. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of, Zachary came up with a lot of great stuff. And and I wanted it to be important that while there's certain things Irma Vep talks about that are very specific to the script, to the film Les Vampires, that even if you never saw the film or you had no clue what the film was about or that this project was even based on a film, that any viewer could still get something from it, because I think all of these topics are universal, what we deal with, love and sacrifice and vulnerability.
Absolutely.